let's start off by talking about, I mean, the show is about health and wellness. You're like what I call my doctor. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So,
gee.
yeah.
Thank you.
I call you, I always call you like, hey, what about this? Or I'll show you like my tests, test results. What does this mean? And how, what can I do about this? Or whatever the case may be. So thank you for that. You have been a doctor. I've known you.
Thank you.
So yes, you look like a doctor too.
Really? Girl, let me see them coins out. Put it in my bank account. So I'll take it. I'll take all of it.
No, I mean, you kind of are in a way. You don't think so?
I mean, without saying it, I definitely feel like it was a calling. It's a calling. And so I try to keep myself as conscious in it without getting big head like, oh yeah, I am. You know what I mean? But I do read. I believe. You know what I mean, that we all have the capacity to heal ourselves. So, I mean, if it has to be through a doctor or through understanding is what I use is my understanding. So be it. But thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, you're very much a holistic doctor. You know what I mean? It's all about natural medicines because, again, I don't like taking pills, and you don't really believe in pills like that too. It's healing yourself because pills have side effects.
Right.
Nobody wants the side effects. You go to the doctor for one thing, you come out with something else because you took one of their pills.
Super facts.
So, yeah, definitely. So we're going to get more into that.
Awesome.
I do want to start off by asking you, like, when it comes to health and wellness, do you think it's different for different cultures or ethnicities or anything like that? Or you think it's pretty much the same all around? Or for different religions?
Well, so I definitely believe that there are similarities.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that the practices themselves are different in cultures. Okay. Because some of it is passed down generationally and it has to be in a certain order. And it's due to rites of passages and it stays very close to the family versus, a lot of it, anybody can do it. If you can read and comprehend, anybody can do it. So it's open for anybody. And in religion, again, religion kind of sets a certain standard depending on what religion you follow. So again, it's in there, but you have to find it and make it, make it practical, because a lot of religions, the healing is not a practical thing. It's still very kind of taboo. We don't burn sage if we're, Christian, and we don't, do these other things if we're Muslim, you know what I mean? So it's a lot of different ways to look at it. But when you go back and look at the science, it's literally the same thing. Everybody's trying to get to the same place. The healing is the same path,
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Okay. So as far as people, like, say, if you're a smoker, so if you smoke,
mm-hmm.
heavy weed smoke or cigarette smoke or whatever, is there certain things that you need to do to, like, help yourself so you won't be full of mucus or whatever, like a certain regimen that you need to do if you are going to be a smoker?
I mean, yeah, well, let's just say for the record, smoking is not good for nobody. I mean, if your car starts smoking, you're messing up the ozone layer. If you're smoking in your lungs, it's got to absorb it tenfold. That's carbon dioxide, so you might as well put your mouth on the exhaust pipe of your car periodically. Both are going to kill you. One may be a little bit faster. However, if you're going to have such habits, green tea is always, it's been along the top 2 things that you could do regularly to reduce the oxidation, and to add the quality back into the body. Just drinking green tea, it's just known for adding the oxidation back to the body and basically giving that good air back to the cells. So we have to start utilizing green tea more often. And it's not for everybody. I do know that some people it messes with their bowels, but if you're smoking, is like trying to squeeze in a high concentrate amount, like steeping it really, really strong, and then sipping it like in shots, as opposed to trying to drink a whole cup. Because you can make it stronger, which changes the dosage of tea, you know, and then you can drink it over longer periods of time too, like literally like a medicine,
Okay.
you know. And so you have that, and chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is definitely number one in terms of, like, again, oxidation levels, trying to get the good quality oxygen back into the cells. You know, a lot of the things you should just stop doing, but I'm not going to tell you, if you can't stop, then you should just incorporate better habits. Green tea and chlorophyll.
What's chlorophyll?
Chlorophyll is the green. So they have several ways that I've seen it spoken about, but it's literally like the green pigment from like your spinach, from alfalfa, from your kale, from your collard greens, mustard greens, your really, really deep, dense, nutrient-full greens. And so that's your chlorophyll. And so if you don't want to juice it, of course you could just eat it, but it's a different quality when you drink it. It's like this pure green juice. And so that's another way to do it. And you can juice like wheatgrass. That used to be one of my favorites. Wheatgrass from like Jamba Juice back in the day. And it's a small shot, but it's strong and it's a acquired taste.
Right.
But again, it's serving its purpose.
So wheatgrass is basically chlorophyll.
It is, absolutely.
Okay. So
wheatgrass, alfalfa, the alfalfa sprouts, you have the spinach, you have the kale, collard greens, mustard greens, those rich greens, your turnip greens, you know, the greens. So if you just juiced all those greens, you would end up with chlorophyll.
But can you really juice spinach?
I mean, I would think that it's really not cost effective to juice spinach, but you can. You really can. So if you mixed it with other greens, like with kale, collard greens, mustard greens, you have the stems. You don't have to discard the stems when you juice. You really should be juicing the stems. The stems is closer to the soil. And so the nutrients is not just in the leaf. The leaf is what the photosynthesis is reaching into from the sun. So you're getting it from the leaf itself, but the stem is what's actually been providing the nutrients just for the leaves to maintain their level to get to the sun. So you should be juicing the stems as well.
Okay. So what if I just wanted to like stir fry some spinach or kale? Is that the same if I'm cooking it compared to if I'm juicing it?
Well, the nutrient level is definitely different because you're cooking out a lot of the nutrients. Anytime you add fire to anything or heat any elements to it, you normally are reducing the quality of the nutrients because you're basically cooking them out from the steam. You know what I mean? From the heat from just the cooking element. What I like to do is split mine up in two parts. So if I want to stir fry or saute, I would do half of them, and then the other half, right when I turn the fire off, I fold them in. I don't fry them in. I just literally like fold them in because I like the texture of my greens. I still want them green. I still want them bright, kind of texture, like a little crunchy, not too crisp, you know. And what I do is just cook half of them, and then the other half, once I turn the fire off, I fold them in. I incorporate them into my dish. So there's some that are going to be vibrant and green because they're just using the steam as the fire is kind of wearing off from them cooking. It's coming down, and the steam is basically what's cooking those other greens. And so they're not losing their nutrients, you know. So you still have, you know.
That's good. Okay. And you know, like talking to you, I always take notes. All right, so we got, if you're a smoker, we have chlorophyll, which you can get from green vegetables.
Absolutely.
And then we have green tea.
Of course.
So how often do you drink the green tea?
I mean, if you can get 3 cups a day and you're good. But if you can't, again, like steeping it really, really strong, and then taking micro doses of it, shots, like a literal shot glass, and just taking micro doses of it, you know. You could do it periodically throughout the day, as long as it doesn't upset your stomach, because some people do have sensitive stomachs to green tea.
So a shot throughout the day.
if it's a strong dose, you can't make watery green tea and then just take a shot. You have to make it really strong.
Got
it needs to be really strong. So we're talking like 3 tea bags in 8, maybe 10 ounces of water, and then letting it sit and steep, and then pulling the tea bags out, you know. That way it's like thick. You can see the thickness, like you're not going to be able to see kind of through it. It's going to be darker.
So if you pull the tea bags out, okay, so if you leave the tea bags in, wouldn't that make it stronger?
Yes. It will, up until a certain point. I mean, it's only going to get as strong as it's going to get. The tea is going to swell, you know, especially like if you're using like tea in a tea bag, it's kind of ground up. But if you're using like a good quality whole leaf tea, you're getting full body, robust tea. Like you're getting a higher quality, denser tea. And so it's going to coat the palate very different. It'll almost take on the texture of like a syrup. If you get a good tea, like a good full whole leaf tea, it'll get thick. And it's a difference between like what we have is like bag tea, and then if you go and buy like full leaf, whole leaf tea.
Okay, so you have to get whole leaf tea. Because the question, it says they sell Arizona green tea that you can buy from the dollar, buy for $1. Are those okay to drink for benefits?
So without throwing no shade, because the sugar content is basically, it's the sugar for the Arizona. It's always going to be the sugar. It's going to be the sugar. But if you can add more green tea to that, because that's your palate, that's what you like to taste, the quality of that tea, I'm all for it. I would just say buy another bag tea, green tea, and brew that, and then just add your Arizona to it to get you going. But if you can minimalize that sugar over time, the better you'll be, you know.
Because not only with like tea that you'll buy from the store, it's like not only does it have sugar, it has like all like coloring, like all types of stuff. It's not tea when you get it. Like it stems from tea. That's why they can say that it's tea, but it's not all tea. Is tea and other things. So you have to go as natural as possible. So if you're gonna do it right. You know what I mean? Like she said, go and buy that the whole leaf tea bags. Well, no, whole leaf tea.
Whole leaf tea. You can find you can find better quality tea now that are like, they have a whole leaf tea and you can see it, as opposed to some of the tea bags, they're grinding up the tea to fit it into the bag per their weight, you know. And so it depends. If you find a loose leaf tea, the loose leaf tea is normally the one that you have to go and it's in a jar and you can scoop it out. You know what I mean? So it's just your budget. Find whatever fits in your budget, green tea, get it and start it, you know. Start with little sugar if you're a sugar person. You know, a lot of people have to have sweet tea. They have to have sweet tea.
Or honey instead of sugar, or cane sugar.
Yeah, but see, the thing, even with honey I know is used as a natural sweetener, but it's really should be reserved for medicine. And that's my personal opinion, because it hits the body, absorbs it at such a rate that it hits the adrenals really, really hard. And so you could be trying to like, you know, just sweeten your tea or just like have something sweet, and you're always using honey, and the way that glucose level is with honey is almost like 6, 7, 8 times sweeter than honey is to the body. The body's processing it like it's like all the way at the top of the sweet,
like,
and you can't burn it. You can't burn it off. Like it's too strong in a sense to be used as an everyday regular sweetener. You know what I mean? Your adrenals sit on top of your kidneys. So the adrenals is like basically just storing all of this glucose that it can't kick out, and it becomes like a toxin. And so that's when people have like stress where they like overload. It's like almost like a temper tantrum because you've had too much sugar, and it really feels like a meltdown, like a mental breakdown. And it's adrenal fatigue is what it's called, adrenal fatigue. It happens it happens probably more often than not, but most people don't recognize it. But honey can do it. Honey literally can trigger it.
What about agave?
I haven't never seen it with agave, but I do know the sugar content of agave is still very high up there. Date sugar has a lower glycemic index. So date sugar would probably be the better sugar alternative, or just incorporate a little bit, not all together, but incorporate a little bit over time. You know, a little honey here and there. Honey is better in the winter because we're going to have more viruses in the air. So use your honey in the winter. Save your agave for the summer. Do your date sugar in between when you just running too much on the agave, too much on the honey. Put your date sugar in the middle. Break it up. You know, all of them are options. But if you can have it unsweetened, go unsweetened.
Okay. What's the best sugar substitute that doesn't contain aspartame? Because I know that's not healthy.
Right. Well, the date sugar, I believe, is the best one. Date sugar, and they have date syrup, and they even have date paste.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about cane sugar?
The cane sugar is still processed. It's still a processed sugar. It's not 100% pure sugar. I mean, I know I'm just like you. I like my Terminato too, but it is not processed the same. It isn't. And I don't know why. My boss is mad now. I don't know why that is, but we can't sugarcoat it. We can't sugarcoat it. We have to tell the truth. And if it's something that's hurting us in terms of our health, those are the things that we have to be mindful of. I'm right here. No.
I got you. Okay. Now, what about if you're a drinker?
A drinker. So now the thing about drinking, we have to shift gears. For all my drinkers, I'm like, you need to detox. You really, really, really have to find time detox, because the liver, the kidneys, you're doing something different to the body, because the spirits, they weigh you down, and then what they do is they basically slow down the neurotransmitters. And so that's like messing with your blood. That's not like smoking, it's messing with your oxygen levels, and you have your lungs for that. But when you're talking about messing with your neurotransmitters, you're literally getting into your blood. So you really should be focusing on detoxing. 1 second. No.
Yeah. D Divine. Yeah, I think that's spelled right. Is regular DATE sugar, right? Alanisa?
Date. Yes, date.
Yeah, DATE.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if you want to make it yourself, it's literally something that you can make yourself. Like they have a couple videos on YouTube where they show them like when you dehydrate it in the dehydrator, and then they also have a method where you can put it inside of like the food processor and blend it down to make a date paste. How long, I don't know. How long you have to do that for? But it can be done at home. It's not something you have to purchase. Sorry, I'm walking through the dark space. But you can do it at home. You know, some things just should be cost effective, and you should know how to do it just in case it's unavailable or shipping is ridiculous. You know, COVID made shipping so hard for a lot of people to maintain certain regimens. So we did a lot of DIY, you know.
Gotcha. Okay. So you said the drinking is horrible. You're messing up your body too.
Absolutely, but it's in the blood though. The drinking is messing with the blood, so you should definitely consider detoxing. Like here, you want to sit down? You want boots? I know, so you got to put this on first. Okay. Well, I say detox your feet. I'm an avid detoxer, so detoxing your feet, taking advantage of just like sitting down and just allowing all of that heavy stuff to be pulled out through the feet. Every organ in the body has a meridian point in the feet and in the hands, you know, because we have no glands. We have no sebaceous glands, no hair glands, no oil glands kind of protruding. But just being able to soak your feet in like a heavy, dense mineral salt. Celtic sea salt is one of my favorites. I just shared that with you, my sister. And the Celtic sea salt having 82 trace minerals, and then adding like Epsom salt, which is another trace mineral, or just mixing. You have your burdock root, you have yarrow, you have a whole bunch of other herbs. I don't have a list of them. I should have prepared a list for just pulling heavy metals and toxins out of the body, but through the feet. You know, it's almost an instant thing. And that's something, if you're a heavy drinker, you may want to consider starting off trying to do it like 3 times a week and working your way like out of like 3 times a week, and then possibly drinking less, because the body can only do what it can do, you know. And detoxing and you're still drinking, I mean, running a marathon blindfolded. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to check your battle. So, you know, I'm not saying you can't do it,
Yeah, one or the other. How can somebody soak their feet to see, like, okay, so I know when we had our woman show, and you had to soak my feet, and you was telling me how some people may soak their feet when they have like a lot of stuff that needs to come out, so it turns dark.
Absolutely. You can see the water tinted. The water becomes tinted. It literally reveals almost like a murkiness with the detoxing of the feet. So I believe that you should invest in a basin, just a foot basin. You should be able to feed both your feet in it. That's a good basin. And if the water can come up to about just to cover your feet flat in it or to the ankle. And so when you soak your feet and it has heavy minerals in it, what you'll notice is the color of the water will start to change. It'll go from like clear, if you're not using like teas and herbs, because some of the herbs tint the water too. But if you're using like, one of my favorites, you know me, I got the garlic peels, the ginger peels, the lemon, the grapefruit, and those things, the heavy citrus, they normally do the nutrient dense. It also draws out. They all draw out. And so, but the toxins draw out and you will see the water change from like clear or slightly tinted from whatever you put in it to murky. Sometimes it's like murky and cloudy, and you can almost see the separation of like the water, the tea, you know, and you don't have to add oils or anything to it. You literally you're just adding just those things. You can add lemon peels, garlic peels, ginger peels, and the peels. Nobody's really eating the peels unless you're juicing. You juice the whole thing. But for people that eat a lot of citrus fruits, it's like store those things. Keep them in your freezer. Get a Ziploc bag, get a plastic container, and just store the peels of your oranges, the tips, that little hard part of the ginger, the outer parts if you don't juice again, that little hard part of the garlic, that bottom that's like normally rough. Save those things, and you literally can like boil them and soak your feet in those, and they'll draw out the toxins, the heavy metals, especially if you're a drinker, because these are natural antibiotics, antimicrobials, antioxidants, just in those things alone. You know, and it's putting back into the body. Yeah, foot soaks are amazing. I know a lot of people don't have time, but if you have a bathtub, you have time. Just run a bath, throw the stuff in it, and then sit on the end of the tub, put your feet in it. If you have a basin, do it in the basin. Make it something that you look forward to.
What if they put all that in the bathtub, right? And instead of just soaking their feet, can you soak your whole body in it?
If you like to. If you want to soak your whole body in it, absolutely. I mean, you eat it. If you can put it in your mouth, why you can't put it on your butt? I'm just, why can't you? You can. You know, I think that with detoxing, be very careful, like already have your water situated. You know, if you're doing like full body detoxes, already have the water like on standby. Like I have a pitcher. I always have a pitcher of water near wherever I'm sitting. And so if I'm getting in the tub and I'm doing like a clay soak, I have a glass of water sitting there because it's pulling the minerals out faster when you're submerged. And especially if you're doing like in the bathtub, you have a lot more hot water. So if you're submerged in all this hot water with all the fruits and like the ginger peels and the garlic peels and the orange peels, they're all pulling out different toxins at different rates, you know, and so you're gonna start to feel a little wheezy or sedated.
Couple questions. What's the best source for antioxidants? I know green tea is ideal, but I also heard watermelon has the highest content of antioxidants. True.
Okay, well, so to make it, Mustafa, no, to make it very clear, there's a list. You can Google these things. These are not even like, there's not rocket science. Like there's a list of things. Be very specific though. When you're using Google as a search engine, don't let it prompt your question. Type the question in anyway. Type what is the most beneficial fruit to add to add in the antioxidants or antibacterials, antimicrobials. You know what I mean? And these are things that people need to know. They're available. So you do have options. Some people don't like green tea. Like I said, it's very harsh on the stomach. But then you do have, it's not necessarily, I don't want to say watermelon, but like kiwi. Kiwi is better. You know, as an antioxidant, kiwi is better. It's a 365-day-a-year fruit. It might get a little expensive in the winter, but that doesn't mean that it's not available. It's way better for you. And not saying that watermelon isn't, but watermelon isn't available 365 days a year. And if you have watermelon in the winter, you need to be a little concerned about that. Like where you're getting it from.
Yeah.
You know? Because it's a summer fruit. So we're out of season. That's one red flag. How nutrient dense is it if it's out of the season in which it normally should be the most fruitful? Those are red flags. So you have pomegranate. That's one, again, 365 days a year available. Pineapple, another one. You have those type of fruits. The fruits that are 365 days a year. Those are your better antioxidant fruits. But the nutrient dense is what you're looking for. If you're having it, if you want it in fruit, you know what I mean? Because if you want it in vegetables, then you have all your greens. You have every green. Greens literally grow all year round. Had a garden. I still can't believe it because I'm like, for some reason, I never knew that like you could have collard greens all year. We only, as Black people, had them during Christmas, or only had them during New Year's, and I'm just like, I didn't know that they were all year round.
Okay, I heard that ingesting aluminum causes Alzheimer's or dementia later in life, and that we shouldn't store things in aluminum foil or aluminum pans. What's your thoughts on that?
Okay, well, to each his own. Everybody's budget can't afford glass Pyrex. You know what I mean? Like glass containers. There's not a lot of things that actually come in glass that you could keep in, you know what I mean? Like store forever. But a lot of the you would have to, I mean, I don't want to say I don't know in terms of aluminum foil causing dementia, but that's just something you're going to have to keep an eye on for yourself. Like, go read the studies. Read the studies to see if there's even a link between aluminum foil and dementia. You know what I mean? It's not, I don't want to say this is not true or that you shouldn't, because it may not be feasible for you to be able to afford glass. You know what I mean? I know there's a lot of people against plastic, you know, and again, the level of plastic, can you trust all levels of plastic? No, because there's BPA and some plastics they're not BPA free. So am I going to tell you to run out and buy all Pyrex glass? You know what I mean? Microwavable, dishwasher safe, you know, this refrigerator, restore. I mean, come on, like, let's be realistic. But in terms of supporting the body so that you don't get dementia, you might want to optimize your omegas, your 3, 6, 9 omega vitamins. So go ahead and worry less about what they say you shouldn't do and find things that you could do to avoid it. Parkinson's, dementia, and Alzheimer's are like sisters on the spectrum of what they do to the body, how they break down on the body. So you have one that's internal in the brain, you have one that's external with the memory, you have another one that's physical. Parkinson's is physical, the person who shakes. Dementia, they lose their memory over time. And then Alzheimer's, they forget gaps of time. So considering that they all have some sort of basically frontal lobe issue, you know what I mean? And then later a parietal lobe issue and an occipital lobe issue. You're talking about the brain. This is matter, gray matter, white matter. So why not just worry about the quality of your omega-3, 6, 9s that support your brain, your fish oils, your skin oils. Mustafa, now is not the time, son. You know, good quality nuts, good quality amino acids, you know, because those things support good quality brain function, brain health. When you have good quality brain function and brain health, you won't worry about Parkinson's and dementia, let alone aluminum foil pans. You know, we're focusing on the wrong things in some areas.
So do you think for peace of mind, people should stop using aluminum pans and go ahead and get like the glass one and also take their omegas?
If you can, yes. I mean, if you can, yes. If you can invest in Pyrexes, yes. But the longevity of them, if you want to use them in the refrigerator, it's almost like you need 2 sets. You need a set for the refrigerator because they're going to be cold. The tempering of like putting them in the stove over time, the wear and tear between putting them in the stove, putting them in the, stop doing that. Putting them in the stove, putting them in the refrigerator, it changes the glass quality. So you're going to have a lot of them. I've had them, and some of them after using them in the oven or putting them in the refrigerator, that just one drop and it shatters into a million pieces. It's like, but you can have them. Yeah, you can have them. You can have them, but it's glass. Think about it. It's glass. When have you ever been known to drop a glass and it bounced back in your hands? Like it bounced back in your hands or not shatter. So you're talking about something that if you get multiple uses out of it, it still has a level of wear and tear that's going to slowly but surely show wear, you know?
I got you.
And you have to have a budget to have it where you have the ones, these only go in the refrigerator. They never go in the stove. And these are for specific cooking. They only go in the stove. They're not storing. So you don't want to mix the two. You don't want to temper, you know what I mean? The glass, you don't want to temper it.
Okay. He says, okay, you mentioned Parkinson's. My mom has a shaky right hand and suggested cures to help. Okay, any suggested cures to help that?
Well, it's not so much okay, if you're showing onsets of things, this is the body already starting to degenerate. These are not things like, you know what I mean? It's almost like at that stage, it's like giving her physical therapy, but giving her physical therapy mindfully knowing that she has that. You know what I mean? My grandmother has the early onsets of dementia. I don't try to cure her. The onsets of dementia, that's something happening on her brain. If I could feed her more blueberries and it went away, that would be great. But if my grandmother is 86, and we have to be realistic. At 86, her body is literally starting to go down. So optimizing health is not something you wait until you have onsets of doing. You have to become more proactive before those things come. Having a mother with a shaky hand, get her one of those balls, those exercise balls, to incorporate just to incorporate good muscle movement. And it feeds back to the physical nature of squeezing as opposed to just letting her hand just shake and her not using the muscle.
She's in her late 70s.
Okay, but again, like over 50. You know, the body is breaking down at 25. Like going up is not going. We think of like getting older, like, oh yeah, I'm in the better part of my life. Yeah, but if you haven't been taking care of your health, you're in the declining stages. You know, we're all going up in age, but the body, if we're not taking care of it, is declining. And we use it's almost like at 10, your brain is fully wired to do everything that you commanded to do. Not paying attention at 15, you burn half of that up. By the time you're 20, you out of here. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, 25 years old, your brain is like fritz. It's like literally on the fritz by 25. So imagine the things that at 70, what she did when going backwards, what she was doing when she was 60, what she was doing when she was 50, what she was doing when she was 40. You understand? A lot of those things are going to show you exactly how she got to 70 and established a relation, or the body broke down and showed the susceptibility to Parkinson's, you know. And it's not saying you can't go back, but she would have to be the one to implement it. It's her body. The cellular command has to come from her. It has to be issued by her.
Right.
So get her the exercise ball. Like, Mom, look, this is what I seen somebody said this is good for your hand. You know, you got that thing that been going on, without trying to make her feel mentally like she's going through something. Yeah. Just give her something that just by reflexology, give back that part of the brain that isn't stable enough to focus her hand. Because think about it. Tell yourself to look at your face. Like tell yourself to lift your hand up in front of your face. You have to think these things. This is an establishment, or you could just do it. But we're taught how to raise our hand, when to raise our hand, when it's appropriate to speak. How are we taught these? So it's a mental thing, and then the body has to have the response mechanisms, you know?
Right. And it could possibly also be some type of nerve damage going on with her hand too, right? Because he doesn't know if it's Parkinson's or not.
Right, but the thing, I mean, why not find out? We don't have to guess anymore. Depending on where you are, why not find out? Why not invest it? I mean, if it's something that you're concerned about, we know my grandmother has early onsets of dementia. We know that. And when she calls, and when I talk to her, and we're having conversations, he's like, oh, I just can't remember anything. I say, listen, at your age, baby, you can remember whatever you want to remember. Mm-hmm. You know, why would I make her feel bad about that? She's 86. She's my grandmother. She's my mother's mother. Why would I remind her, oh, yeah, you losing your mind. It's almost over. Like, come on, I don't know how she feels inside. You know what I mean? Like, we have to be mindful that people are really experiencing life and it's happening. But if we can support them, you know what I mean? That's what it's about.
Take your vitamins, and so it depends on what's going on. That's the type of vitamin that you need to take for that issue, right? So what about like a multivitamin too, like an everyday thing?
Right. No, and I was just about to say, I feel like everybody at this stage, given the quality of the soil of the earth, should be on a multivitamin. The cleanest, best organic quality that you can afford, you should be on a multivitamin. You know, if you're young, if you're under 25 and want to have children or not want to have children, you still should support your reproductive faculty. So you should still be taking a prenatal vitamin, especially if you're not even if you're not on birth control or anything, because you're just going to let your hormones run rampant, burn them all up, and then you might change your mind and want children, but you can't have it because you didn't support your diet. You didn't optimize your own hormonal health. You just let everything run hot. You got a poor diet. You got nightlife habits, you know what I'm saying, experimental habits, and you're burning up everything that you're going to need. You need the whole body to reproduce, you know, and that's for men and women the same. It's not different. Gender is not a real thing when you're talking about reproduction. You need a man just like you need a woman to reproduce, because there's women that can't carry their own babies now. There's men that are sterile at like 20, you know. And so you should be if you're under 25, you should be on a prenatal vitamin and possibly taking collagen, depending on what your habits are. If you're over 25, you should definitely be taking a multivitamin, and you should be, you should take a multivitamin, probably taking collagen. I believe most of everybody should be on some form of a collagen something, because the collagen structures are too vast for us not to support them, you know? Mm-hmm. It's that type of time. And
so can men take prenatal vitamins too?
Oh, they do have prenatal vitamins for men. I totally put my husband on one. Absolutely. Multivitamin for men. Organic. Every time we have a baby, I'm like, yo, bro, you gotta step the game up. Like, she's smart. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to see if we can make one that fly next time. Like, what are you doing?
So for men, when you're on a prenatal vitamin, is it just when the woman is pregnant, or before the woman is pregnant and after? Like, how does that work?
So my thing with prenatal health, and then they say it on the bottles, you should start a prenatal vitamin. Think of it like a trimester. For those who are familiar with pregnancy, they know that the pregnancy is evolved over 3 trimesters: first, second, and third trimester, and then once the baby is born, is a 4th trimester. So if you was to start the preconception process, you would start 3 months prior to trying. You would start your prenatal vitamins for a 3-month period before you start even trying. That's to give the body optimization. The quality of the sperm is good. The quality of the receptivity of the sperm into the womb is even better. Because men's sperm apparently regenerates faster than women's eggs, and apparently our eggs are getting old when we get old. So the quality of the egg, I know, ain't that something? Ugh. The audacity. But I'm gonna make happy for you. Yeah, happy. She love happy faces. But the quality of the sperm drastically determines the quality of the baby too. And so I don't know who really out here not paying attention, but we got more autistic babies, you know, coming. Every other child has an autism diagnosis, and ADHD.
That's true, yeah. And
yeah, it's something that should be looked at in terms of like why is this possible? Why is this happening? Let's think, are we actually preparing to have babies, or are we just having babies? Or, oh my God, I'm pregnant. Like, who's actually having babies on purpose? Who actually is who's having that 3-month period of putting the substance in so that they can reproduce a whole healthy child? Yeah. Not just healthy with a head, 10 fingers, 10 toes, but healthy, mentally, physically. You want to take it off? Yeah. Okay, come on.
that one right there because you know you was taking your prenatal before,
Absolutely.
and as you was talking about her hair, like the texture, how now, even her skin, you know.
Mm-hmm. It's just she snuck up on me. We wasn't not planning. You understand what I'm saying? But by the time we found out, she was already 4 months. So, you know, and that's just what it was. But yeah, she definitely has a quality, a different grade of hair. But for me personally, because I am conscious and me and my husband do have our babies on purpose, I am able to recondition my body. I am able to take a higher quality prenatal vitamin every time. Like every time I'm done, like after I finished having her, I went online and I found me a better quality vitamin than I had prior to. And I do that every time, you know. Quiet as kept, I'm out here in these streets. I'm 42. You understand me? But it's still working.
Right.
You know, but we have to remember that by science, you know, in our understanding, women have their eggs. We have our eggs as long as we're on, not just in our own bodies, but in our mother's body and our grandmother's body. So every woman is carrying all the babies that she's ever going to carry with her, even before she arrives. So we have to make sure that we optimize our bodies and our eggs if we want the reproductive responsibility. When it's our time, it's our time. But if you're not putting into it and you've had your eggs since you was in your grandmama and your mom, and now it's your turn, you know, but you haven't put nothing into that faculty, why would you think that you just going up and miraculously have a healthy child? You didn't put anything in there. And we have to start making it something. So over 25, well, under 25, prenatal vitamins, whether you're having kids or not, you're having sex, prenatal vitamin, you know. And then for us older, over 25 and doing it on purpose or have done it, again, prenatal vitamins until you know you no longer want to do it, and then you just take a multivitamin, you know.
Okay.
The difference in the if you put a multivitamin next to a prenatal vitamin, you'll see there's a difference in the dosage of what they would give you for reproduction, just for reproduction. Most of it is the same though. You still have all the vitamins, you know, from A to Z. You know, you still have all of them, but the dosages are very different.
So prenatal vitamins, they're big. They're like horse pills. So do you think somebody could like put in a smoothie or something? Like, what is a good way to take a prenatal vitamin? You seem small.
They have grinders. They have pill grinders, so you can grind it up if you need to grind it up in small dose, a little bit of water, a little bit of juice, whatever. But they also, I mean, they have so many things now. They have gummies now, so you can take gummies if you like those type of things. And then the vegan brand, I think it's Deva, DEVA. Their vitamins are actually very small. Like they might even be the smallest vitamins to this date, about the size of this pencil eraser. And their prenatal vitamins are that small.
Really?
Yeah, they're I wish show it to you, but my multivitamins are downstairs because I have their multivitamins. It's a vegan vitamin brand, DEVA, and yeah, they're prenatal, and you only have to take one.
You have another question. Says I heard coconut oil contains MCT and is good for a healthy brain like omega-3. So do you recommend coconut oil along with omega-3?
I mean, you use the oils like you use them medicinally. If it has the MCT, I heard the same thing. And I also am aware of it. I think me and you had this conversation before. And even with the caprylic acid, again, it's another form, but coconut oil has antimicrobial, antibacterial, it has antioxidants, antibacterial, antimicrobial, and I think antiviral, like the inside of. If you're going to use coconut oil, you need cold pressed, clean, you know, unrefined coconut oil. And you're using it like medicinally. You're using it on your skin. You're using it in your soups. The way I use coconut oil, I literally take a teaspoon and I just put it in after I'm done. So my soups, my broths, I put it in after I'm done cooking, like I do with the greens. I fold my greens in. You know, I mean, you don't want to burn up the properties of it. But coconut oil is so amazing that you can add it to like tea. You literally could add it to your tea and drink it. And It's either coconut oil. I think coconut oil is in the AM, and then olive oil is in the PM, and it'll help you sleep better because of the medicinal value of it. So you have these oils, you're using them, you don't have to use them just to cook. Coconut oil is good for using just to clean your mouth, bacteria in the mouth, keeping your oral hygiene. Are you ready for boobs? No. Listen, look what you're doing. See that? That's not cool, man. Yeah, so you have different ways to use it. So you want to use it in your mouth. Oil pulling is popular in Ayurveda. You know, the traditional Indian, Hindis, their medicinal modality is Ayurveda. And so you're using it in the mouth, you're using it on the skin. You're taking 2 baths, 3 baths a day. You're rubbing yourself down with it. You're dry brushing, you know. So you have so many options. Okay, this is not okay, ma'am. Put it on your lips. Thank you.
So would you use coconut oil with omega-3s?
No, the coconut oil is said to contain omega-3 itself. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, it's said to contain omega-3 and 6. It's either 3 and 6 and 3 and 9. If I'm not mistaken, coconut oil itself.
Yeah. So you can either use just coconut oil, or can you just use just MCT oil? Because
whichever one you want, but I believe the MCT oil is derived from coconut oil.
Yeah, but there's like I have bottles of just MCT oil. You know what I mean?
What is it derived from?
That one derives from coconut, but also it can derive from olive oil too, I believe.
Right. So okay. Again, so
the coconut one is better, yes, because you could do.
But my point is, you can buy that MCT oil for that effect, or you could just use the coconut oil. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to have, and this consumeristic behavioral thing that we've created, we have to have so many options. We have to have so many options, but we literally have to start simplifying it, because the body needs consistency. You know, it needs integrity. It does. That's what your skin is doing by sticking to your bones. It's just integrity. They're supporting each other. You know what I mean? So we need that, the same thing when what we're eating, what we're using on our skin. You know, I use coconut oil and when I'm cooking. I use it, like I said, in my tea. And then she has more sensitive skin, and our hormonal structures are still very much together because I nurse her, and so she can use the coconut oil on her skin. But my son, he still needs like a shea butter. I use shea butter and I use sunflower seed oil on his skin. And it's something about just his melanin is like, it just absorbs that and it sticks to him better. But the coconut oil is just enough for her. And she's the only one of my children that can use that like that. For me, I use sesame seed oil on my skin. So I use sesame seed oil, and I'm actually switching over this year from sesame seed oil because I wanted to try to use pumpkin seed oil because of, again, the amino properties in pumpkin seed oil support my hormonal structure. I'm over 40. So I'm looking at my hormonal structure down the road, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to run hot. Menopause is right around the corner. How do I support my body going through the next stage of life and changing? Okay, let me look and see what that is. I found pumpkin seed oil. It has a hormonal benefit for women. And men too, you know what I mean? Most of our hormonal structures are the same. Men have testosterone, we have estrogen. Everybody needs to be balanced though. That's the point, is balance. So be careful, you know.
He said his dad puts a spoonful of coconut oil in his coffee every morning.
Go, Dad. You know, it sounds like your dad's a wise man.
I would think that would taste weird, like in the coffee. You don't think that would change? Like,
no. Have you ever oil pulled before, where you just like take a spoon and you like put the coconut oil in your mouth and you're just like squishing it through your teeth, like squash, like you're literally like, it's almost like you're gargling, but you're not trying to get in your throat. You're just trying to push it through your teeth and then your gums to crevices. If you've ever oil pulled before, how your mouth feels after you've oil pulled, that's how your mouth feels after you drink it, like in your tea or your coffee. Come over, I'll make you a latte, because it's almost pumpkin season, so I'm making pumpkin spice lattes over here with fresh organic pumpkin, and I'll I'll pop some oil in it for you, and I won't tell you. You just get to look at it and wonder, and then I'll tell you after you take the first.
Okay. Don't have me run to the bathroom, girl.
You said what?
So don't have me run to the bathroom.
No. It's not. It's very mild. And the thing about it, like, it's antimicrobial, it's antibacterial, antifungal. So it's going into your digestive tract, and it's actually assisting you with your good flora. That's what that caprylic acid does. The UTIs, you can use caprylic acid for UTI. So in all truth, in your feminine hygiene, you should have coconut oil in your bathroom, almost readily available as your feminine lubricant. Not because you need it, just because the bacteria, again, inside of your natural space, it has a certain level of, it's sometimes too much for itself. That will calm it down naturally because of that antibacterial, antimicrobial, that you know what I mean? We have to look at the medicinal value of things. And coconut oil is very beneficial like that. You don't believe me? Go look it up, go do your own research. Listen, I ain't the one to gossip.
Okay, so he said, yeah, I told him to take a teaspoon a day, and that's the way he chose to do it because he drinks a cup every morning, so that was a good idea.
Absolutely. Way to go, man. Great son. We have to support our elders. We have to. The longer we want them here, we have to support them. And the best way is like my grandmother. She doesn't have all the knowledge. She doesn't use Google. She's not reading the books that I'm reading. She's not gonna, she can't spend hours reading a medical journal, research paper, or report. You know what I mean? So we have to do the legwork for some of our elders. You know what I mean? We have to. We're the tribe that's supposed to help them when they can't for themselves. We can't just watch them deteriorate. But then too, we need to be paying attention. For the brother with the Parkinson's, the mom with Parkinson's, that becomes a susceptibility thing. If you don't catch it, the onset of it is like inherent. You can inherently get this because your mom had it or your dad had it. So we have to start supporting the body so that we don't acquire those ailments. I don't think nobody has to get anything. Like, it doesn't have to be genetically passed down. It can stop with that person.
That's true. Okay. So what about someone that has headaches or migraines? Like me, I get a lot of headaches and migraines. I have a slight one right now. I had a long day. I've been in the sun all day. So I don't know. It could just be like the end of the day type, But what do you think, or what do you suggest I should do for a headache?
Definitely check your magnesium levels. Magnesium in the body. Remember this, all of the minerals and vitamins that we are either eating or not eating, we have them or we don't have them. So your body is using everything you put in it. And honestly, we don't know. Like, I want to know based on my lifestyle that I'm eating enough. But some days it's like, if I eat the same breakfast, some days I'm burnt out by the time I wake up. Some days it might get me till about 10, So it's hard to say what the body's using and what it's not, or what is using up faster. So it's like, you have to stay on them. But magnesium is normally a reason why you have headaches. The magnesium level is depleting, And then your hydration level. You have where's your Celtic sea salt, my sister?
It's right here.
Yeah. Magnesium, right there. Right wherever right here is, it's right there.
I'll get it. I have to. So explain to people what magnesium is and what does it do?
Well, there's a combination of it. So the body is absorbing it, and it's basically using it in terms of supporting the blood, supporting the bone, and basically supporting the calcium levels. And it's either the calcium, I want to say magnesium, calcium, and iron. There's 3 of them that are supporting each other. 3 minerals. There are always 3. There's 3 or 4. It's the same way with the body systems. There's 3 or 4 that's supporting each other. So I believe your magnesium is also supporting your calcium level, and it's also supporting your iron level. And so you have to remember the body is using everything. You have these are functioning. You think calcium, think of all your bones, think of your teeth, the hard structures. So magnesium, let's look at our muscles. Normally if you get a cramp, if you're an athlete, you get a cramp, they give you magnesium baths, or you have to soak, they give you muscle rubs, again, heavy magnesium, because that's dealing with the muscle tissue ligament. And then all of your, be careful, all of your other ligament tissues, tendons, arteries, those are collagen structures, but they're all codependent on having a good structure. So we go back to the bone, the cartilage, you know. So your magnesium is optimizing your body's ability to process your calcium, your iron, support your bone, your muscle, and ultimately giving the structure of the body the integrity. That's our word for the night, integrity, keeping it intact. You know, are we telling the truth? Let's look at our faces, see.
Right.
You know, I'm 42. I could be lying. I ain't though, but I'm just.
But you, I mean, you look good at your age, but we do know that you are the health expert. You know what I mean? So you do a lot of research.
That don't mean I won't get a double chin. That don't mean I won't get a double chin. That don't mean I won't get bags underneath my eyes. You know what I mean? That don't mean I can't get crow's feet. You know, my hair falls out like everybody else. My nails fall out. But those are, to me, those become barometers to check. Like, have I been doing these things? You know, am I eating, like I said, the diet that I have is vegan or plant-based, but it doesn't always support me. And sometimes I run hot. I do. And my edges will get thin because I'm nursing. Me and my daughter share the same hormone structure, you know. And so I have to fine tune my diet to keep it all intact. It's a lot of work being human.
Yeah. Okay, question. Says, I'm big on health, so I got 1,000 questions.
Oh, welcome.
Right, welcome. Says, so I want to ask you about D. What's the daily recommended dosage for optimum health?
Say it one more time. What was the question?
He said, so I want to ask you about vitamin D. What's the daily recommended dosage for optimal?
Well, vitamin D is something. Okay, so we say that the only way you can get a booster, but that's not okay. I don't want to hear that. Please, if you can take it in your room, it'll be great. To get it, you should be getting it from the sun. However, if you are taking a supplement form, you should be taking it with vitamin D2, D3 with K2, because they're supposed to be, you need them together so that you don't calcify the bone. We'll go back to that magnesium, calcium. You know, you need the blood to be able to flow through the bone. The marrow, we need the blood to be able to flow through there. So so the vitamin D, I believe the dosage for vitamin D was like somewhere around like 12 IUs, but you can go all the way up to like 2,000, 2,500 of vitamin D, you know what I mean, without running over. It's not, I don't believe there's something that is like, and I have notes, but I'm not, if I move this thing, I can see my whole laptop and it's only reminding me of everything I have to do it in both ways. So you can take it and sit in the sun. You have vitamin D, you have 12 milligrams, or you have the up to 25 milligrams. I mean, not milligrams, what is it? IUs, I believe is how it's labeled. Vitamin D, get it from the sun. You can eat, what they say, vitamin D, flaxseed, I believe, flaxseed, chia seed, vitamin, the sun,
notes too.
Huh?
I was telling them they better be taking notes, like me.
I mean, well, not catch the playback. Yeah, but still, these are things that you don't have to ask somebody. You can find out for yourself. Everybody has to get out of this mindset of waiting for somebody to tell you that it's okay to take your health serious. It is time to take your health serious. Like we are on the brinks of another COVID pandemic, and if you ain't got everything that you need in you, your fighters is not armed. Your natural fighters are not armed. So we need to get. It's not about of waiting for somebody to say, oh yeah, you need this, this, and this, and you need to drink all the sea moss, and you need to take all the bird out there, and you need to sit on the yoni steam or whatever is popular. Get out of that. Optimize your health.
Sitting in the sun like 15 minutes a day or more.
No, I mean, who really wants to stand in the sun for 15 minutes? How about you just put your feet out the door? How about you just let your feet hit the floor? Let your feet hit the ground. 15 minutes, that's about the rule of thumb for sitting in the sun. But again, like I said, if you don't want to sit in the sun for 15 minutes, just sitting in a shaded area with your feet out. That's a part of your skin can pick up photosynthesis. It don't always have to be your whole body. You know, it doesn't. Say it again.
With the feet out, hitting the sun.
Absolutely. With the sun, feeding in the sun. It absolutely counts. It's the skin. The skin is one organ, the largest organ of the body, integumentary system. Let's use it. We don't have to burn it up, so we don't need to be naked, just sitting out in the sun, just laying out, trying to get every part of it to touch. But the feet, considering that we have, again, the pads of our feet have every organ. There's a portal for each organ, a direct connection link channel from each organ, all throughout the hands and the feet. So like when I say to soak your feet, the detox, not only can you soak your feet, but if you're putting your feet in the sun, just rubbing, like massaging your legs while they're getting hot from the sun is encouraging that good blood that's touching the bottom of the feet from the sun, that warmth, encouraging it to move through the blood vessels and the oxygen levels in the vein. Let's incorporate some modalities of massage in there. You know what I mean? Some trigger point reflexology. Let's move the toes around. You know, let's encourage the blood to pump better in the direction that it needs to go. You know.
What about winter time when there's like
winter?
Yeah, it's different seasons, so you're not gonna get as much vitamin D. So what's the alternative?
I say get to supplements. Get you a supplement. Get you something that you like, something that you're comfortable with, something that's clean. You know, everybody likes quality, but can you really afford a quality vitamin D supplement or vitamin D and vitamin D? Stop. What's it for? Stop. You're making her get loud. I don't like that. But can you afford a quality vitamin D with vitamin D with K? And find you a vitamin D with K. And not only a vitamin D with K, look for ADK. ADK will even support the thyroid. It will support the hormones.
What's ADK?
ADK, vitamin A, vitamin D, and vitamin K. Is normally, like, if you Google vitamin like ADK, you'll find it, but it's connected to thyroid health. But it also has the vitamin D and the vitamin K in it. Okay, she doesn't want it, so that's it. You know, but it has vitamin A with it, so it's not just vitamin D and vitamin K. So if you're going to support the whole thing, especially for winter, when we're losing a lot of optimum sunlight, and we're also losing a lot of minerals from the soil. When you go outside and you see the trees turning colors, that's letting you know what minerals are escaping, what minerals are going to be left through the seasons. So this is already something you can go outside and see depending on where you live. Like by my house right now, we have a little bit of the orange showing up in some of the trees. You know, and I homeschool my children. Hey, that's too loud. I homeschool my children. So as the season changes, this is when we collect our leaves. And my daughter, I'll have her surveying the leaves in the backyard. Like, okay, so if this one is turning yellow, what mineral is that? What mineral is that reflecting? Like, you can literally go that far and see for yourself. And it's going to be the same quality when you go to the grocery store. When the fruits and vegetables start changing colors, we have an advantage because we know the seasons are changing. We are literally, we're like, 3.5 weeks out from fall. So now is the time to already start getting your good quality chlorophyll. If you don't want to juice every day, go ahead and find you a good quality organic chlorophyll. Once you open it, put it in the refrigerator. You can freeze it in ice cubes, drop it in your water when you're ready. But yeah, now is the time to get those things in place. And it's the same thing with your honey. You know, organic honey. Definitely the quality of your honey should be from wherever you live. It shouldn't just be from all over the world. You know, I know it sounds fancy to have honey from Madagascar, but if you don't live in Madagascar, the climate can be different. The antibiotics of the bees, the probiotics of the bees, the medicinal value of the honey, you know, it does matter. So you have those things that you should definitely, like, now is better than later because they're going to reach the next level of that thing and we don't know what it's going to be like, you know. We don't.
I know. they used to have something else was gonna come out too. Now, my friend, I don't know if he's still on here, but he has COVID right now. So and I heard him coughing. He has like a lot of mucus, and I was telling him, you know, I gave him some CMOS. You don't too much care for CMOS, but I gave him some CMOS and things like that too. So you know, make some people and everything. So what do you suggest when it comes to COVID? How do they cure themselves?
Well, a lot of the things with COVID is going to be respiratory related. Like I say treat it like a really bad flu. Treat it like a really bad flu. So you could get it now. All your herbal remedies, all your herbal concoctions, all your tinctures, all of the herbs that you can think of down the list from golden seal, echinacea, burdock root. You have yarrow. You have, you have a lot of the immune, but all the herbs. Like there is, you know what? I can give you a list. I'll make you a list that you can post on your page for the COVID regimens, because it's gonna be. I'm not saying that it's gonna be this. It has to be this way, but these are the things that we really need to start adding back to the body, because the season is changing. Let's just be mindful of that before we go on a tangent of trying to like prepare ourselves for COVID. We don't want COVID, so let's say that. Let's put that out there right now. We don't want COVID. So what we have to do now is build the body up again, just like with Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, dementia. We have to build the body up to make it less susceptible to getting the virus. And I will provide you a list of all of the antis. That's what I call them, the antis, like your TT, your antis. Antimicrobial, antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal. I'll give you a list of those that people could just start implementing in their diets and incorporating in their diets, because the season is changing, you know, and a lot of the antibacterial, a lot of the antis in the properties, we miss them, but they have mineral properties. They have vitamin properties. When you mix them together, some of them actually activate other minerals in the body. So it's not just trying, again, to fight off COVID, as opposed to optimize the body using the minerals and the vitamins that we might have already been using that we haven't put back, you know.
So, okay, so you said you're going to put together a list. Are you going to put together a COVID list on your page so everyone can see it?
I can do that. Do I have to call it the COVID list, though? I mean, we don't want COVID. If we're calling it COVID, it's like, I feel like we're summoning COVID.
No, you're going to say anti-COVID list. Or
got it. Okay.
However you want to word it, even if you want to go on live and talk to people, or if you want to put clips, you know, then you could tell people so they can find that as well. Y'all definitely have to follow her as well.
Got it. It's free. Feel free. Follow your girl. All right. Well, I love you. I wish to do more, but you know what I'm saying? I gotta play referee.
Well,
he crying.
Tell people I thank you for coming on and sharing, and
thank you for having me.
Tell people how to find you and where to follow you. You have 2 pages, so if you want to get whatever.
All right, so on my social media, I am Alanisa Saadah Salahadhin. And then on my, do you really want me to spell my whole name?
I mean, because how they gonna know how to spell it?
I'm gonna put it in the comments.
Yeah, do that.
I can type. Yeah. Damn. Don't make me spell my own last name wrong, though. You play too much.
Yeah, we got
what
it is. Your husband said DNA is the gene protein that is rendered in a sweet state by that. Can you hear me?
No. Do they even call it Facebook anymore? I should say Meta. Stop! I'm using my hands, baby. And then I know, right? Oh, what's about you're in trouble, dude? It's gonna be a whole wait till I get off this. Wait till my fingers is done. What is my thing? Rituals are skills, right? And I'm gonna work on my take your advice on my what's the name. I think I just did it. Oh, please tell me I did it. Yeah.
Rituals on Kids is one page.
Yes.
Alanisa Saadah. You have to help me pronounce that because you know I get it wrong.
Yep. Either or. And on YouTube. And I'm on YouTube.
Well, again, thank you for coming. You helped a lot of people. I know you answered a lot of questions.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I look forward to it. Okay, I just did that.
Yeah, okay, so on YouTube. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say before you
No, thank everybody, and just try to do your best. You know, it's never too late to optimize your health. You know, if you wake up tomorrow, do something different. You know.
Gotcha. Okay.
And thank you for having us.
Yeah. Bye, you guys.
Bye.